political advisor and commentator, and she joins me live now from Washington, D.C. Rina, good to see you. With President Trump in the White House, has Canada attained a new role in international relations? I mean, they've got very significant friends in Europe.
It feels like the center of the universe is Canada right now and not very much the United States, because what no Trump administration member expected, least of all Trump, was that Canada would have a counterpunch from Carney. He is not Trudeau 2.0. He is vowing to really treat this trade war like a hockey match. There will be counter tariffs that are going into effect on steel and sports gear. Carney really intends to give it back to the United States, because Trump's tariffs tantrums have had him really not just feeling on edge, but having to be out there in Europe doing the hard work, which is trying to diversify.
And Rina, just on that point, I mean, the message couldn't have been stronger from Buckingham Palace. King Charles wore a white shirt and a red tie, the colours of the Canadian flag, to meet Mark Carney. Carney's been working in London for 7 years almost as governor of the Bank of England. I mean, he has significant relationships here.
Yes, that's true. Carney is a, global crisis veteran. If you're looking at the guy, he's an ex-banker, and I think this kind of person, we really couldn't have predicted that he would meet the moment like he has. Look, he's not on vacation right now. In between London and Paris, he understands this is about the economy and that he has a role to fulfill for his Canadian people, which is to make their lives better, while Trump is unfortunately trying to make it worse for no good reason. I must pull back and say this is a bit about returning to Canadian roots. That quote you heard from Carney saying, and I'm paraphrasing here, that we are the most European of non-European countries. That kind of tells you what his mindset is. But going back to economy here, and this visit by Carney, it is very much a deliberate pivot away from Washington, because like I alluded to earlier, these 25% tariffs that Trump is enacting on Canadian steel and aluminum, they've already hit. They're no longer just a threat, right? And many of us sitting here in Washington thought they were a negotiating tactic, but broader tariffs are looming. That's what Trump loves to do. It's to continue to threaten more. But Canada's exports here to the U.S. are 80% of its total. So like I said, Carney is looking to diversify fast.
And Rina, tell me, do you think Donald Trump will be worried that Mark Carney has such deep relationships and such a track record of building very significant friendships at high levels in Europe?
I don't believe that President Trump is thinking that broadly right now, at a time where it seems that Carney is. Trump is really treating Canada like a piñata. I mean, 25% tariffs, annexation talks. I mean, we're talking about the sovereignty of another nation, our neighbors to the north. And this also, that fentanyl blame game continues. So what Trump wants to do is treat Canada as a vassal, not a partner. And that's flipping the script entirely on decades of very cozy ties we've had, and a reliance that is very important. I've spent time one-on-one just last month here in Washington, D.C. with Ontario's Premier Doug Ford. I find him to be a very affable man who loves America. And he said to me one thing that really stuck out, is that with the flip of a switch, Ontario can deliver power if needed all the way down to the state of Florida. Geographically speaking, that tells you how very good we need to keep this relationship, because there is a reliance there to keep the lives of everyday Americans and Canadians good and not trending in a bad direction.
Rina Shah, live for us in Washington, D.C. Thank you.